Niche portrait ideas for photographers. Let's get into it. What's up, everyone? My name is Sal Sincata, and today we are here on another episode of Blank Canvas, sponsored by H&H, where we bring together professionals from around the country. And on this episode, we're going to give you some ideas for niche photography ideas or photo shoots that'll help you grow your business and make a little bit more money. So today with me, I've got Sharon Benton from Santa's Enchanted Workshop. We have Meredith Reinkars from Meredith Reinkars Photography. Sorry about that, Meredith. And we have Chase Ashurst from Rise Studio. Chase, did I say it right this time?
You did, buddy.
I screwed up.
It.
All right.
Yep.
The first episode was a bit of a show. All right. But we got through it. All right. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. And I really just want to dive right into this. It's each of you brings something very unique to the table and what you focus on. And I feel selfish. I want to learn more about what each of you do and what makes it so special. So let's get to it right out of the gate. Chase, let's start with you. What type of sessions, niche sessions, are most profitable for you?
Shockingly, pets, dogs specifically.
Yeah, and why do they work so well?
Well, people love their dogs, and we've teamed up with local charities. So it's not just bring your dog and get a good picture. It's bring a bag of food as your session fee and get a half hour with your dog. Just your dog, doesn't matter, but it's a half hour. And then we donate about 6,000 pounds. And it started out as just a one weekend thing, and people just wanted more and more. And we changed it from January to March, which is kind of an off season for normal things.
Yeah.
And it just blown up from there.
Why do you think that is? And maybe I'm just unplugged from the world of photography, but I feel like in the last 5 years, pet photography has blown up. Is that a true statement, or am I just out of touch?
I'd say so, because more and more, everybody loves their pets, and the way people are looking at dogs, and like Cesar Millan made people more aware of, let's treat them differently. Let's do that. And then that's their family. I mean, we have people that literally
Cesar Millan,
sit.
Yeah,
stay.
Alyssa does that to me all the time. Yeah. I just jump whenever she does it.
And so I think a lot of young families, that's their babies. They haven't had kids yet, so they're bringing in their family. Can I bring my dog? Yeah. And if you allow them to, then they'll bring it. That's
a great idea. I definitely want to learn more about this. Meredith, your focus is boudoir. Tell us a little bit about that and why you think, because I feel the same way. I don't know. Again, I feel like since COVID, so many things have changed. Like boudoir has become kind of a thing. Pets have become a kind of a thing. And as someone who's only focused on wedding and portraits, senior portraits, think families, boudoir and pets is very intriguing to me. So why do you think that's so successful right now?
I think it's successsul. I think it's always been there, but I think it's come out of the dark. And
dirty four-letter word. It's like just
yeah.
Do you think it's because of social media?
I think it's partially because of social media, but I think that there is an awakening of women and men who are saying, I deserve to take the time for myself. There's a lot more focus on healthier living in regards to mental health. And I think because of that, you're seeing more and more boudoir, because it is a self-love. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. They want to be understood.
Yes. That's cool. It does make sense. And I do feel I deserve more. So we can talk more afterwards. It's not weird at all. Sharon, we talked a little bit yesterday about what you do and Santa. And I'm not a self-proclaimed Santa hater. I love Santa. I love getting gifts, of course. But I've never been interested in the traditional Santa experience, because in my head, I think mall Santa, and that couldn't be the furthest thing from what you do. So tell us a little bit about what you do and why you think Santa is such a unique and popular thing.
My first response to that, excuse me, is to ask you, how was your childhood?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I sat on Santa's lap and I probably cried a lot if I had to guess.
And actually, that response really is what I'm thinking. It's to bring the children back, or the parent back, to that nostalgia of really what Christmas is. So I'm not even thinking portrait session at all. I'm a curator of an event that provides them, it puts them in a storyline, and it lets this incredible experience they couldn't have anyplace else, giving them a full hour to visit with Santa Claus. And so by doing that and photographing that, I'm capturing moments that would never happen without what I've created for them to walk into.
Yeah,
it's a very different kind of feeling.
It truly is an experience. We'll talk about that in a second. To that point, Meredith, from a boudoir perspective, what makes your experience? There's tons of boudoir photographers out there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the internet is littered with it.
It is.
Some worse than others. But what makes your experience stand out, in your market?
So for us, we have decided as a studio to make sure that the women that are walking in leave differently. The men that are walking in leave differently. And so collaborating with a confidence coach, they get a coaching session with her beforehand.
You're offering this in your offering to the clients. They get to meet with a confidence coach.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So I met her through a local chamber event, and she just had this energy that I think everyone wants to have. And immediately we connected and decided, okay, how can we help each other serve our clients better? And her clients are needing photos. They're wanting to be seen. They're wanting to stand out. That's why they're coming to her. And in the same way, my clients are wanting to celebrate who they are, but they're scared and they're nervous. So they need what she provides. So anybody coming into a portrait session is going to be nervous. They don't like being in front of the camera,
right,
usually. But now they can have that confidence coaching session before they walk into my studio. And then they get a follow-up with her afterwards to just see, okay, how can you take that feeling into the rest of your life? So that's just a little tweak that we've done.
I don't think that's
amazing.
a little tweak. That's actually pretty
like a
amazing.
life
I've never
coaching
heard of anybody doing that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's incredible, Meredith. So, Sharon, what about yourself? Like, what makes your experience stand out?
Everything.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
You sound like Jenny from the episode 1. Same.
It starts long before they ever come into the studio. I have a conversation with the parents, but for the child, they receive an invitation in the mail from Santa. It's custom to them. The parents have filled out a questionnaire, so when they come in, Santa knows their name, cousin's name, whatever the parents put on there. It's just so incredibly, I have to back up. It's different in the respect that it's what I provide for the feelings for them when they arrive. It's in the wow factor. It's the smell. It's the sound. It's the feelings and the emotions. I had a little girl that came in several years ago, and she has an understanding of Santa differently now. And when she found that out, her mom called because she's really upset, and she was crying. And she took her to the store. She went to Bath and Body Works, and she picked up a candle, and she smelled it, and it smelled a lot like my studio. And she went over to her mom, and she put it in her face, and she goes, "Mom," and she was crying. She goes, "Santa's Enchanted Workshop." And I went, That's exactly what I'm striving for.
Amazing.
I want her to be 30 years old, have 2 kids, be stressed out. It's Christmas time. And she smells that candle and she goes, I remember what it's like to be a child. I remember what it was like to be in the presence of Santa. And they never forget that. And when you can use all of the senses and you can provide that, that's gold and that's money.
Yeah. It's money in a bottle.
It does.
I have to brag on Sharon a little bit because I interviewed you yesterday and we talked about your Santa. She's downplaying what she does. You have a building that is basically Santa's workshop, right? So you don't just set up a backdrop and you're photographing Santa on it. It's like the kids are going through a Disney-like experience into your. You need to look her up in what she does. It's absolutely incredible. Yeah, I'll brag on you a little bit, Sharon.
Thanks.
I think it's impressive.
Thanks. I appreciate
All right.
that.
So Chase, you and I talked about pet boudoir. And how that's a viable.
It's a whole new idea.
It's a new niche.
Yeah.
Don't let.
We're teaming up.
Listen, I don't want you listening. Yeah, I want the dogs to get a
confidence coach.
Confidence coach.
That's right.
Yes.
That'd be my part. And
Yeah.
I'd pass it off.
Just
to
grab
her.
them by the ears. You're
That's
like,
right.
you are enough. Yeah, I like. Don't downplay this. All right, let's get serious. So, pet photography. I don't know where I'm at.
I love the energy that you talk about, the vibe that you're talking about when people come in. And I know this sounds silly, but this is where we set apart ourselves, is that I care about the dog. And a lot of times people are nervous about a session that's going to happen. And so on the way there, I know there's tension. And dogs pick it up more than anybody, like kids too. So I always tell people, hey, when you show up, I'm going to meet you and I'm going to take your pup for a walk. You guys go get your stuff, put it in the dressing room, and I'll meet you back. So when that happens is that I've learned to take charge in a confident but calm manner. And it's helped me actually in my own life is staying calm in situations. So if they're amped and I kind of read what the dog is feeling and their energy, then I adjust from there. And then we walk in, I make sure they know I'm in charge. Not in a bad way, but I'm in charge. You're okay, you're safe. And then we walk in, I let them off the leash. And then the parents, oh my gosh, don't let them pee. I go, listen, it's a 136-year-old building. They can't hurt anything. Let them roam. So for 10 minutes, we let them smell. And that's how they always associate things and feel comfortable, is by smelling. And I have treats. I have the squeaky stuff. but it's getting them to feel safe first, and then we go from there.
Yeah. Chase, I'm not going to lie, when you were saying that you let them know you're in charge.
That's right.
It's okay. I thought you were talking about the pet owners.
That's right. Well, I do. It
took me a second to connect
sometimes
dots.
I have to, because a lot of people behind Rye, because I help get the dog to do the dog thing, and then Rye takes pictures. And the people are behind Rye saying, sit, stay. And I, calm down.
Yeah, you're getting that dog
Just
worked
give me a
up.
second. Just give me a second. And we know when it's ready and when she's ready or he's ready. But give me a second. Calm down. It's that energy.
Yeah,
and if
yeah.
they're up here, the dog's going to be up here, and we can't do anything with it.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
we
I
have
didn't
to
even think
keep them in
about that.
check.
All right, well, let's kind of change gears here, because even though I think yours is extremely seasonal in the niche, Santa, Boudoir can be seasonal, right?
Yeah,
Valentine's Day,
absolutely.
holidays. And the way you run pets is somewhat seasonal as well. You're running it in that kind of first quarter of the year.
That started just because there's really nothing else. I mean, people don't want to get senior pictures done January through March around Kansas
Right.
City. It's an awful time of year. So it was like, what can we do to spark? And the charity thing came along. So people love their pets, but they want to help pets. So we team up with 4 local charities in Kansas City, and then we donate on St. Patrick's Day all that food, about 6,000 pounds of food. And then they know, okay, well, I have a senior coming up. Can I bring the dog? Well, of course. So yeah, we do dogs all year round if they're with the family or with the senior. But that window of time is really for what are we going to do in this winter months? And we have the studio. We have the luxury of letting them come inside.
So hold that thought, Chase,
Yeah.
because I want to get back to where you're about to go with this. So I don't want to hit that yet. I want to come to you first. How do you make this seasonal offer feel fresh every year for clients?
This is probably the biggest challenge I have, because once they hear about it, once they're in the studio, piece of cake. Have you ever walked into Costco in September and the Christmas trees are up and listened to what people say when they walk in?
Yeah.
They're ticked.
Yeah,
They're
they all are, aren't
yeah,
they?
so if I'm trying to put ads out or trying to reach out to people and it's September, it's a sensitive issue. But I handle it well, and I educate my clients the importance of coming in, and I do offer some incentives. I don't discount my work. I offer gifts to my clients that are very meaningful, and I do those with purpose. The gifts that I give my clients turn around and be meaningful, not just in person, but they become part of the imagery that I'm going to be using.
Right.
And I get to use that when I show the parents the pictures at the end. I explain why these pictures are really amazing, because there's the book that Santa signed in gold pen when your children left. This is a time capsule. There's a whole genre of words that I use. But what you're saying, it is challenging, and I have to be sensitive to that. July works. People accept Christmas in July. So I can start putting stuff out there then. I make sure that I have a couple of influencers that I work with. I get them in early. They can start posting. I am noticing more and more that people are accepting the advertising for Christmas earlier and earlier. It's just something that's been easier. And that's how I do that. I have to educate them. Come in and get their images done, because there's a turnaround time on these. And if you want to enjoy your images for the holiday season, and they're accepting that, and they're telling their friends that. And so I've been doing this long enough now, and I have a really good reputation.
Sure.
that my people are understanding it better. But there's always new parents and stuff that I need to educate the new that are coming in, and that type of thing.
So you'd mentioned using influencers. Is that the traditional sense of what we think influencers are, where they're like, what if I told you you could meet Santa Claus? Is that what we're doing? No?
No,
just
I'm
giving
a
you shit,
firm
Sharon.
believer in inviting those that I work with in for a session, and
Yeah.
so that they can feel and know and understand and really understand what it is and what we're offering. And so I make sure that they come in early enough.
Yours
to
is
be
a
able to
big
share
referral business, right?
Yes, it is. It definitely is. My favorite thing when I answer the phone and somebody says, I say, oh, how did you hear about us? And they say, my friend told me. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Because I already know that they know that they're investing. They
Right.
already know that. It makes my job easier. But it's not all referral based. It's a lot of different things. I do a lot of what I call backdoor marketing and trying to reach people in different ways. I really love meeting my community. I love talking to people. And so I put myself out there. And I'm like a little missionary kind of thing. I mean, if you stop me for 3 seconds, I'll tell you what business I run, and especially if you have children.
Yeah.
You have any littles in your life? And I tell them. I whip out my phone. I show them my building.
I love it.
I'm really proud is probably not a good word to use, but I'm really, really excited. And I really mean sincerely, I want these families to come in because I know what it means to have. I have 5 children, 10 grandchildren. My friends my age are like, I wish you had offered this when our kids were younger. I know what it means to have this picture. It's different than a family portrait. It's different than a senior portrait.
True.
It's different than anything else because this is nostalgia that comes out once a year. And then you get to watch your children grow. And here's that time capsule. It comes out again. They package it up with everything. They bring it out again. It's amazing.
It is. All right. So Meredith, you know, Boudoir has gone through many iterations over the last few years. We've seen the wings. Are you doing wings? Is that your thing?
We have wings as an add-on, but that's really not our primary, like.
Well, what I'm asking specifically is how do you make it feel fresh every year? Like, what are you changing up year to year to make it feel fresh?
So year to year, we're looking at what are things that are trending. You know, last year there was some woman with a cat on an album cover, and that was
trending for Boudoir.
I mean, there's this, Taylor Swift influencer that affects Boudoir, and this year we've got Showgirls.
All right, note to my wife: when you do a Boudoir shoot, I do not want to see a cat. Please don't do it.
It's not going to do it for you?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
But you have to look at what is trending, what is really influencing the market for women, because that is my primary genre for Boudoir. And so I fully expect to be using those wings a lot in the next couple months because there are a lot of women in their showgirl era right now. And so looking at rhinestone tops and, how can we shift a little bit here and there and then still reutilize those later on?
So are you investing in wardrobe every year to make it different, unique, or are you encouraging them to bring it?
Both.
Both.
I have a very small space, so I only have 836 square feet. So I'm limited on what I can do. I have an amazing employee who builds sets like she has a degree in it.
Dang.
So we pulled out a Christmas styled set just this last week and then thought, you know what, we're going to pivot and do a little Harry Potter because it's spooky season. And so we just flipped it a little bit and
so these are limited edition style sets.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And it's really easy to pivot those with some great backdrops.
Yeah.
That make it a lot easier.
All right. So Chase, I kind of cut you off because I didn't want you to get to the punchline here, but you do something that's quite amazing. Even forget the seasonality of it. What makes it unique for you is you work with local shelters.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
I think it also helps the client say, I'm part of something and I'm not just getting a good picture, but I am donating my donation, and we do reels, we bring the kids, we take them out of school, and it's a whole day of donations. So we go to 4 different shelters and we tag them and tag the shelter. We pick a puppy that, hey, when we do the drop off, can we feature a dog? So it's getting the entire community involved with what this is about, saving shelter pups. Think about adopting. So it's more than just a picture, it's an event. And I think that gets people excited every year to do it. And we start promoting around about a month before, and it already starts booking up within a couple weeks.
Well, so that's my next question to you, and I'll start with you on that. How far in advance do you start promoting this kind of Q1, if you will, January through March?
Yeah, before the new year hits, we start promoting and pushing. And something you're talking about with adding a niche kind of look or an outfit, well, my Rai always has cool ideas, and she's like, this year we're going to put a dog in a swing. And I'm like, okay, here we go. So I got to figure out how to put this swing. But it's a new little look, a little prop, even though we have so much in the studio. We have people that have been doing this for 10 straight years. So what's different for them? And so we promote it. And we're lucky. We have 2 beautiful dogs, a Weimaraner and a little Bichon Poodle. Or Cavapoo, sorry, and they are the best models, so they always promote it for us. And when people see it, they're like, "Oh, I want to do that."
It's a model shoot.
About a month
with
before,
the dogs.
so yeah.
Meredith, what about yourself? Like we talk, if we just stick with, well, I don't know. I feel it's fair. You're like, hey, I'm doing something for Halloween. I'm going to do something for Valentine's Day, and you said you had a Christmas set.
Yeah.
So each one of those kind of like we'll call them micro events for the sake of the conversation. How far ahead of you are you promoting those micro events?
So I'm promoting those micro events starting in August for Christmas.
Okay.
Because I know that just getting that information out through our newsletter, through paid ads, through Instagram posts, I have to start shooting the promo content, build the set, all of that far in advance to be able to get everything out and ready to go.
Okay. Sharon, we talked about this. People love hearing about Christmas before Thanksgiving. When are you promoting the Santa stuff?
This is so we're September, middle September. I have been, but this is going to be from here on is going to be a heavier push for sure.
And then does the push accelerate as we get closer to Christmas, or how far out I'm assuming there's a certain just drop dead or are you shooting like through Christmas?
My last day I think it's December 15th is my last day. I usually go up to the middle. The second weekend in December is my last.
And so the push is just to get as many people as your calendar will allow.
I can service 125 families, and I typically book out.
That's awesome.
I like to get them in earlier because then I can raise those numbers.
Right.
But yeah.
So do you find you're booking that far out? Is it something where you could even start promoting? Because I know when we talk, there's not a whole lot of necessarily repeat people come back every year. There's a small percentage that do. But is there, do you have any kind of and I'm just making this stuff up, by the way, kind of super early bird booking or something like that, limited spots, or no, you really just, it's kind of like dead and then September hits and we go?
Well, good questions there. My Santas have to be ready. I'm nothing without Santa Claus. And so I have them booked for October 11th is my first day. I actually have them coming in a couple days early to do some special things. But for my clients, it's October 11th. And so I'm 6 families a day. And it's 2 to 3 days a week, depending if it's October, November. I start adding that third day. And I'm limited to 8. That makes me at 18 families a weekend. Once those are booked, they're booked.
That's it.
If you can't make it in, then you don't have a spot. So
it's kind of its own sense of urgency, isn't
it? It
is. Built in.
And people know that. Yeah.
So, Meredith, let's come back to you on this. What do you do? What's like a marketing tip we can give somebody? And I'm going to ask each of you this question for your niches. What's a marketing tip from you for Boudoir or for selling out these kind of micro events that you're having? What's one tip we can give people? What's the best thing you've seen work?
Limited is really
great sense of urgency.
Absolutely, is just limiting it and saying, this is it.
Do you do it? I'm curious. Do you if you say, hey, we only have 10 spots left, but you book 7, you ever lock it up and just be we're sold out?
So
just to drive the point home.
Yes, but because I have a certain amount of sessions I can shoot a month. And so if I'm shooting headshots, boudoir, seniors, families, and I'm booked, then sorry, that's it.
Yeah, there's just no more time left on the calendar. Gotcha. So it's not necessarily we're going to limit how many people we put in the wings or put, in a naughty Santa outfit. I don't know if that's a thing you do, but I just made it up.
It is.
It is? All right. Anyway, so we're about...
It's going to be a new branch.
I was about to squirrel really bad.
We don't offer that. No.
You don't offer naughty Santa?
I thought you were going to ask me
no,
that.
I was going to ask you that, Sharon. What is what would you say for you and Santa, what is one marketing takeaway we can give somebody who is doing their version of Santa? What's something that's worked for you over the years?
I do allow, and so it's really interesting when I listen to other photographers. It's almost like some things that hard rules don't do, I allow, and it works for me. And so I do allow my families to video because
That's cool.
I do. And I always, when I greet them, I'm very nice, but I'll say, you're invited. I use that word a lot. You're invited to video as much as you'd like. But we ask that you don't photograph inside. I'll take care of that for you.
Oh, they probably love that.
Oh, and I'll say, but just be careful. Don't get lost behind your camera because I want to make sure that you're in the moment.
Love that. Yeah.
And so they will make reels. I've had these families post these beautiful reels. That's awesome. And asking them to have me be a collaborator with them on the reels is really helpful as well.
The reels idea, I think, is kind of brilliant. I don't know if we can do that in everybody's genre, but it really, that's marketing.
Oh, getting my littles coming through that elf door on both sides. Yeah. I'll invite one parent to be on one side, another parent to be on the other side. They're getting them coming both ways. That is the cutest thing in the world.
Well, it's all their friends and family are seeing it
totally.
now that you wouldn't even be able to reach through other mediums.
And they get a sneak peek of your Wonderland.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I want to go.
It's great.
Go to Wonderland. Chase, what's one kind of marketing tip, trick that's worked for you over the years with this?
I think first and foremost, know dogs. Know them. Get used to it. Don't just bring in any dog and just come on, sit down and make them do. You better know what you're doing with them. I think that helps me. But also teaming up with a charity and making it an event and setting it up. Like you're just like, hey, this time only between these months, do this. Now, sometimes we will have situations where, hey, I'm getting a puppy, but it's not going to be till a couple weeks after you deliver the food. Am I okay? I'm like, get the donation to us before we deliver, and we'll book you out anytime. It's okay.
I love that. So, all right, we got 2 more questions left here. Sharon, I'm going to start with you. What type of product sells best for you?
This is such a great question. I have what I call my fine art line. So I have my wall portraits, I have my storybooks and albums, and I have my folio boxes. And I explain to my families when they come in that each one of these products have a special purpose in their home. You've got a large wall portrait. You're going to be able to see it throughout the season. It's the first thing that families notice and friends notice when they come in. I describe what that feels like. They're going to be able to have this year after year. The storybooks, you get to snuggle up with your child on the couch. And we specifically wrote it that where it has things that Santa said to the children are in the book. And so it reiterates what their visit there. And then our folio boxes, that's amazing because I can explain to them that they can cluster these together and they can recreate the story and the children get to relive it every year as they put them up, but they can also take out 1 or 2 and share them with the grandparents. And I do say to them, eventually your children will inherit those back. They'll go back in the box. And if they've got 2 or 3 children, this is an opportunity for them to be able, and I'll say, when they get married, wrap up a couple of these and give them to them as a gift, and they get to take home part of their childhood with them and start their own Christmas collection. And so I make each one of those personal. So when you ask which one's the best, they all are because they work hand in hand for what I've created.
Well, Sharon, I haven't even been in front of your camera, and I want to buy all 3 things you're selling. So you've done a great job.
Thanks.
Love it.
Meredith, what's your top seller?
Hands
why,
down.
give me a little bit why.
Yeah, hands down, it's the album. Most of the women that are and men are coming in they're doing it for themselves, but they're often a partner involved, and so they want something to give to them, and that has been the best seller with a box. That they want that display item, but they want it to still feel like it is
like a matted print box kind of deal?
No, just albums with a box.
Oh, albums with a box.
Albums with a box, because they want to be able to put it on a shelf, put it somewhere where they can see it, but it not be picked up by random
It's
people.
like a secret in there.
It's like a secret.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
cool.
Chase, for dogs,
Yeah.
what's the number 1 sales item?
Well, it gets the donation of the food already comes with a free 5x7 with any purchase. So we do say that. So it's the only time we really set up packages. So they know, okay, I already get a free 5x7 as long as I buy something. Well, we include friends and family to join, a lot of families. So they go, well, if I'm getting a free 5x7, I might as well. And they do a package A, B, or C. So packages are big there. It's not just one item. It's because they see them all, and there's not enough to put an album together with your dog. Usually it's about 15 to 20 pictures. So that fits in these packages we make. But every donation comes with a free 5x7 as long as they buy something.
I got
so
you.
we're gambling, but they usually buy more.
All right, now we've got a little gotcha type question here for you guys. I want to know, because unless you're going to try and BS everybody who's watching this, we've all failed, we've all flopped. We're going to start with you, Meredith. Sorry.
Okay.
What's the one idea that has totally flopped, and what did you learn from it?
Hands down, Father's Day promotion.
Father's Day boudoir?
No, like buying it for Father's Day as a gift for your partner.
for the partner?
Yeah, it flopped.
Interesting.
Just completely flopped. Yet the purchasing for holiday gifts works all the way starting in July, all the way through to Christmas and
Is
beyond.
that typically men who are buying that for their wives? In
No,
that
but
scenario?
it's women purchasing it for their partners for the holidays, which is still the same thing.
Right.
But Father's Day flopped.
Very interesting.
Absolutely flopped.
Who were you targeting with the Father's Day? Were you targeting fathers to buy it for their wives? Or no, you were targeting the wives to get it for their husbands?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what that says. Maybe it's the
We get
wrong
the
audience
ties.
right there. Yeah.
Maybe.
He doesn't deserve me. All right, Chase. What's one idea that has flopped?
I'd say just simply saying to people, donate and then get a free session and a free picture, and that's it.
The free.
No incentive to say if you get a free 5x7, but you have to buy something.
Yeah.
No minimum order, just something. Because people would come in, get their free 5x7, fully edited pictures, done all the session, and then they bounce.
Interesting.
So we were risking so much.
So what did you change in that?
You have to buy something. You have to at least buy a print. So you could buy a 4x6 and get your free 5x7, and we'll never get rid of them. So then we'll post whatever they buy. A lot of times with seniors, you get a certain amount of pictures for social media, but with the dog sessions, because it's such a little mini session, whatever you buy, we'll post for you too. So that incentivizes them to do more. But yeah, you'll get your 5x7, but you got to buy something.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Right. We all learned from that.
Yeah.
Now, Sharon, you have never failed. Is that?
She has magic on her side. I want to go.
Santa magic
This is
in
amazing.
a bottle. But on a serious note, what is one thing you've done over the years? You've been doing this a while now. We were talking the other day that has just flopped on you.
So I was thinking about that as they were speaking. I wouldn't necessarily call them flops. I've had experiences where I've needed to tweak what I did so that I get that control back. I don't like to. I'm kind of a control freak in my studio, but I'm super nice, but I control that room. So one of the things I would say is I offered cousin sessions. I've tweaked that. And now instead of having all the cousins in at once, I strongly encourage that they do a back-to-back session if they're trying to get that picture for grandma. If we have back-to-backs, then I can, instead of having the half hour in between, I can bring all those children together. The reason why my cousin sessions were exciting for me is because it took it from an experience-based of interaction with Santa, smooth and easy. That 1 hour visit with grandpa is what it feels like. When you start having to take children around looking in the bag, and then I've got to move those cousins out and move these cousins in, I hated it. And I'm like, you're missing. I want them to feel what I want them to feel. And so it's not a flop, but it's be able to step back and go, I got to tweak this a little bit so that they can get what I really am wanting to offer. And so that took care of that.
Yeah.
And my families respect it. When I explain to the moms, they'll go, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
You don't have to do as much staging.
Yeah. Now, I will do cousins if it's just a couple. I let them know, and then I let them make that decision. But I try to be the yes man as much as I can. But if I feel like I know my business well enough that if I know it's not going to work, I will kindly, strongly suggest we do it another way.
Nice.
Cool.
Because there's no reason to set up for failure.
No, that's true. We all learn. We all make mistakes.
so cool.
All right, for everybody here on the Blank Canvas today, thank you for tuning in. Special thanks again for H&H for making this happen. And on behalf of Sharon, Meredith, and Chase, and myself, Sal Sincata, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.